What is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horne, and this is the NWA. It's the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. Obviously, we're talking about the National Wrestling Alliance. And I am here with my best of friends, my life mates, Wil Martin. Hey, Wil.
Good evening, everyone.
And there is Doc. How are you doing down there, Doc? You doing well?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was just thinking, I was like, I love that little intro that you put together with I'm like, man, it's a shame we only get to use it like once or twice. That's some of your best work. That's some of your best work.
It'll stick around.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why it can't stick around. If you're wondering, we're here a little bit earlier than the scheduled time because connecting people through wrestling was waiting. And so we had
also Powerrr has been long over. So we just got tired of waiting.
Yeah, we were just shooting the breeze and trying to get ourselves together.
We try to like when we had it scheduled earlier, and then we'd always be like 1 or 2 minutes late. So we like pushed it back, and then we were just sitting here like ready to go. Of course.
I just remember like when we first started coming on here, we're like, man, we're NWA. It's official now. We got to be really professional. That went out the bag like the first week. I don't think we've ever made our hit time.
But we had the right mindset, which is what's important.
What's the thing that people do now these days? They they visualize or they do these vision boards and stuff.
I got one right here.
Do you?
You can't see it, but it's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got.
They manifest.
Manifest. Yeah.
I was at Doc's house. He's got a dream catcher. So
yes, I do.
That's her important, which really works.
Mine works because
if your dream is to be lame,
if your dream is to have the Georgia Bulldogs win the national championship, and
that's my dream.
The World Series
Did that happen?
The same year.
Yeah. Too bad United couldn't pull it out this year.
Yeah.
Had
by lame crown. You mean awesome, Gary.
That's usually what I mean when I say lame.
That's a slang term for awesome. It's kind of like how sick is good.
Well, let's give a shout out to
it's like Matt
Neil.
Cardona using.
Hey, Rob, Gary's trying to host a show here.
My bad.
Trying.
Okay. Yeah.
Was trying. Neil, welcome. Chad, it's good to see you. Polka Dot Pam, Eric, Caps is in there. Amigo. I see Jimmy Olsen is there. That's Superman's best friend. Bobby is here. Eric is here. Sean is here. Connecting people through wrestling, obviously, is here. James Lawrence is out there. John Gaunt. All you guys. There's a couple of Erics, actually. So just wanted to give some shout outs there. Yeah. And welcome everyone to the post show. So, every time I do that, though, I can hear my wife bang on the walls.
I remember one night before you went sober that you were doing that a little too much, and I think you did it for most of our live stream. This is a different Gary.
All I can remember, especially when we were in places like Oak Grove or in Atlanta or whatever, all I can remember is like hours of just going, Undertaker, come into my portal.
All right, listen, this is not a WWE podcast.
Sleep.
This is the NWA podcast, so we got to get to it. And this is going to be a loose show, if you can't tell already tonight, everybody, because it's World Tuesday night, but now it's a big deal. Like, things have changed. The National Wrestling Alliance.
The whole landscape's changed, man. The whole landscape's changed.
The whole landscape. I'm glad I don't have to mow it. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Yeah. But is Manscaped still a sponsor of us, or is that the TIPW?
You can get, you can, manscaped.com. You can get, if you use the code NWA pod when you check out, you get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
I'm pretty
They're
sure
on like the version 5 now, aren't they?
I'm pretty sure they dropped us promptly, Rob, after your very detailed review.
No, I think they dropped me after I launched Weedscaped, which is like Uber for Manscaped.
It's the Manscaped Share app. They were not a fan of that. It was not sponsored by them, first of all. And
they were like squeamish about it. I was like, look, I get all of Gary's hand-me-downs because he always gets the new model. Then he sends me his old model.
Right.
So yeah. All right. Anyway.
This is really going off the rails. Anyway, we're going to tell you more about the landscape and about what our plans are involving it. So, I know some of you guys watched NWA Powerrr tonight on Fight TV.
That's right.
If you're a member of All Access, we'll talk more about what All Access is. And if you didn't, you're going to watch it on Friday. And so that changes kind of how we have to do things. Anyway, we'll talk about
Friday.
it right
I'm in
now.
love, baby. Friday, I'm in love.
Okay. Anyway, let's get everybody in the loop. All right.
Good job, Will.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Well, anyway, so here's the deal. All Access is out now. If you don't know what All Access is, well, Kyle Davis can tell you more about it here in this little thing.
The landscape of professional wrestling is changing, and we strive to be at the forefront of that change. Introducing NWA All Access, a brand new service from the National Wrestling Alliance and Fight. For an annual subscription of just $49.99 a year, you'll gain access to every NWA pay-per-view, early access to NWA Powerrr, NWA USA, and special Fight exclusive content. To subscribe, visit fight.tv today. That's FITE.tv. Why bother with monthly subscriptions when 1 year does it all?
Lovely.
That's right, Kyle. Why bother with monthly subscriptions?
I wouldn't. I would just do the annuals, $49.99. And that's the big deal. All Access is out from the National Wrestling Alliance and combination in cooperation with Fight TV. You get that All Access there. Like they said, $49.99 annual subscription gives you every single NWA pay-per-view included.
And you could stop right there. And that would be an incredible deal. You could just stop right there.
For real.
But wait. There's more.
Okay, thank you.
Trying to set you up.
No,
I know we should have had a run through.
Yeah, I thought you would do that. There's more.
Sorry.
Anyway, so it also gets you first run of NWA Powerrr and NWA USA on there. And actually, this is a little weird because you don't get first run of NWA USA. That first airs on Saturdays at noon on YouTube. And then it shows up on Fight TV, or maybe it comes on at the same time normally. I think it's
it's going to be on. It's going to be cast on both at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You can watch it on your preferred platform.
But if you're a member of All Access, as you found out tonight, you can watch NWA Powerrr with everyone else that is an All Access member right there on Fight TV, just like normal. But and also more Fight exclusive content to come. I've heard rumblings about 10 Pounds of Gold, other documentary style shows. So just keep your eyes out for that. But if you don't want to do that right now, NWA Powerrr will now also air Fridays on YouTube. 6:05 on Friday. Powerrr shows up there. And then Saturday at noon, you've got NWA USA 2 days in a row. And then I guess that's kind of what we want to talk to you guys about, because then after that, take your Sunday off, relax, enjoy. There's probably another pay-per-view or something to do. You got things to do with your family, whatever. And then Monday, show back up here on YouTube at 6:05 and join us for This Is the NWA Weekly. I think that's what we're calling it. This is the NWA Weekly.
You've said it. Now you said it.
I said it. Now it's
official.
Yeah. So you join us and we'll recap the previous week's Powerrr.
That's right.
We'll talk about NWA USA and we'll preview the next Powerrr that's airing the next night on Fight TV. I can't talk anymore.
That's right.
6:05.
Well, the bottom line is you get to do that with us on Mondays for $49.95 for us, or best offer, or completely free.
Okay. Yeah.
Pick one of the three. Always choose
Yeah.
C. 1, 2, or C.
That's exactly.
Public education.
Public education at its finest. There he is. This is the man who's training the future leaders of tomorrow.
That's right.
All right. And so, yes, Eric Dale asking the question in the chat, and that is what it means. The Bearded Trio is moving to Mondays. I hope that works for everyone. It seemed like the best idea because it feels like tonight, if we go too in depth on Powerrr, we actually have already gotten a couple of messages from people being like, hey, we're going to watch Powerrr on Friday. Are you guys going to spoil it if we show up to the live chat? And the answer to that is, yeah, probably. Still.
We do not have any restraint.
There's a good possibility that something will be said tonight that will spoil Powerrr for you. So just be ready for that. But we'll do our best to keep it just a loose show and talk about whatever the chat wants to talk about. And then, we'll go from there. We'll start on Mondays where everybody's had a chance to see everything. And we think that'll work out nicely.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've been on Sunday nights before. We've obviously been on Tuesday nights. I don't know that we've ever been on Monday nights before as a trio. So it's new territory for us.
We'll try to go. Well, we're going to do 605. We were going to go head to head with Monday Night Raw, but we don't want to start like a rivalry with the NWA and WWE. We don't want to ruin anything there. We know that we'll be pulling viewers from Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, we don't have problems with anybody.
Yeah.
There's enough to go around, right? The world is big enough.
That's right. James Lawrence asking an awesome question in the chat there. Is All Access the same subscription as the Powerrr? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's all just converting to All Access. I can tell you for sure that what you have to do if you're already a monthly subscriber, now you have to go ahead and in your Fight app, you can go to manage subscriptions and you can cancel that subscription your own. And what you have to do is you have to wait for it to run out. I did get this confirmed from Fight. You have to just wait until your current subscription runs out, and then you'll be able to re-up to the annual subscription if you want to do that. Otherwise, I think it continues as normal just on the monthly. So if you want to do that yearly option with the pay-per-views included, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because that's an awesome deal, $49.99. Pay-per-views are $20 a month on their own. So, I mean, and there's going to be, they said 6, plus there's special shows. Like we got Powerrr Trip coming up. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but there's no reason not to do the whole year. I know it's $50, and $50 is tough in these times we're in, but that's a whole year of entertainment right there for you. You don't have to worry about anything else. Your NWA is covered. Everything the NWA does, you'll be able to see, and it's going to be awesome. This whole year is going to be awesome. You got Crockett Cup coming up. You probably got an NWA 74 somewhere down the road, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe an Empower 2, possibly.
Maybe an Empower 2.
Maybe. Hey, I went to the drawing board myself today. I was just doing some thinking. I was thinking about pitching something to President Corrigan. Hard Times 3.
Oh, I was going to say 4.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to one up you. I didn't mean to one up you, but I'm saying Hard Times 4.
It's like when they came out with 6-minute abs, I was like, 5-minute abs. 5-minute abs. I don't need 6 minutes. I don't need 6 minutes for these. Just give me 5 and a cheese Danish.
All right. Let's see here. Eric Dell will be getting NWA All Access. Charity begins at home, boys. That's the man after my own heart right there. Thanks, Caps. As we're stepping up our game every week, the segments get more professional and classy. I like that. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Start wearing a suit.
All right, Australia represent.
Jeremy Clarkson in Australia. Hey, what's up?
What's Wednesday like?
Yeah.
It's Wednesday morning there.
What I love about that is that it's already Wednesday
like a
morning.
Wrinkle in time.
Yeah. So he's in Wednesday morning.
Continuum.
What's crazy is like he can tell us stuff to know. Like, can you look at the stock market or something and tell us what to do? You know what I'm saying? Do it in the future.
The MLB talks resume.
Anyway.
Gosh, that's what?
He's an educator.
Right. And let's see here. Marlon appreciated your something about Mary reference, Doc.
A lot of references tonight.
A lot of callbacks.
It was a better reference than the original one he wanted to do with the hair gel. So we're glad that he didn't roll with that reference.
Ain't no hair gel. This is all just juices and berries right here. That's another callback.
Yeah.
Some of these people are trying to talk about wrestling. Look at this. Like, who is Cyon from Joey? Bobby wants to know who's the next challenger for Chris Adonis. And Eric talking about Matt Cardona, Matt Cardona. Anyway, and yeah, thank you again, Jeremy. He says he's originally from New Zealand, but living in Australia. Where is Old Zealand, Jeremy? Tell me that.
Oh.
Tell me that. Yeah.
It's like in Middle Earth, man.
I think it's just.
I really do think it is. I think they filmed the movies there. So
in Old Zealand.
It's just called Zealand.
Zealand, yeah. This is Zealand because when they named Old Zealand, there wasn't a new one yet. So it's like,
yeah, that'd be dumb.
When the first Battle of Bull Run was fought, they didn't call it First Manassas because there hadn't been a second Manassas yet. Come on, Gary. Gosh.
This man down here, that's a doctor.
This doggone Encyclopedia Brown right here, baby.
Yeah, Marlon's surprised you're even coherent today after the Dogs win last night. So
yes, congratulations.
Always impressing.
Doc, I know you and one other person that I know are legit Georgia fans, so congrats to you guys.
I am surprised too. My blood type right now is probably, and I'm not talking about today, I'm talking about from last night. My blood type right now is probably Evan Williams, white label. If you did the analysis, that's what it's going to come up as. Like he on that white label, right? They're not sponsors, are they?
No, but Busch Light is.
Busch is.
Thanks to Busch Light for being part of this. And hey, did you know you could go to speaking of sponsors, let's just talk about LegacySups.com. Do you know Nick Adonis? I saw like somebody talking about Nick and Mickey in the chat there. You know, LegacySups.com. That's I just put in a big order with them. To get myself back on track. Doc mentioned me being sober. I'm also trying to diet and exercise every day now. And Legacy Sups is helping me along with that. And you can join me in that journey. And you can use code NWAFAM for a nice discount over there, courtesy of the national treasure, Nick Aldis. Anyway, that's it. Can you name the tag team from New Zealand? Is it the Bushwhackers?
It would be the Bushwhackers, but before they were the Bushwhackers, they were
sheep herders.
They were the sheep herders, yes. Great question.
Got
I like that. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out tonight, man. We're just hanging out tonight.
You remember that time we played trivia? That was fun. We got to bring that back on the Monday show.
Yeah, it's
NWA trivia.
The trivia thing.
Give us some ideas. What do you want to see on Mondays? It's going to be a different format. We're not going to be just reviewing Powerrr. So, what do you guys want to see on Mondays? Let us know.
That would.
I'll tell you what I want to see on Mondays is as much of Natalia Markova as I can.
It was her birthday today.
Yeah, it's her birthday. There you go. That's my point.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Natalia Markova.
We thought you were just being a creep.
That has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a creep.
I thought that was just a random thing you were saying. Hey, did you know you can get a duplicate of the 10 pounds of gold? If you didn't, watch this.
For over 70 years, one name has stood for history, legacy, and tradition in professional wrestling, and the centerpiece of that legacy is the original lineal heavyweight championship of the world, the one that started them all, known to many as the 10 pounds of gold. Now, by popular demand, you can own your very own symbol of excellence, as the NWA has teamed up with Fandu Belts to bring you the official replica of the NWA Worlds Heavyweight Championship. This meticulously handcrafted belt is available in two options, the original pre-2021 Glory, as well as the revised 2021 version with the UK plate updated by yours truly. Own the granddaddy of them all, the 10 pounds of gold. To order, visit fandubelts.com/NWA.
And they have really fast shipping. See? Doc just ordered that, like before the commercial.
Like right
Doc
before
ordered that title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So there it is. Now that's the old pre-2021 version that they mentioned, in case you're not aware. This is
actually the real belt. You remember when I was handed this belt to Safeguard in St. Louis?
Yeah.
The one that I gave back was a Fugazi.
That's a felony.
That is a felony. So you guys go ahead and call that in on Doc there, if you don't mind. Let's see here. What else in the chat? Marlon, agree with you. Natalia Markova all the time. Natalia all the time.
That's right.
And Wrestling with the MMA wants more chicken nuggets on Mondays.
That's good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what we're talking about. Let us know what you want.
Just more chicken nuggets. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, I like do you see Chucky there? He wants chocolate belts, full size. I
Oh,
like that. I saw that come up. Anyway,
Valentine's is right around the corner.
yeah, you can make that happen. We'll talk to William Patrick Corkin. All right, let's talk about something else. Did you guys watch NWA USA? People have had time to see that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you didn't get a chance to see it, here's a little brief recap of that.
And now we bring you NWA USA, and it's so fitting that it's named after the USA, the land of opportunity, because this show is an opportunity for the hungry men and women back there who want to step up and show out.
All right. Well, that was that. So, was a smooth transition in, not so much out, but you know, we'll work on it. We'll work on it for Monday. Anyway, that was NWA USA. Hopefully you saw it noon on Saturday. Saturday morning wrestling is back. There it is. The junior heavyweights, big part of that show. Also, of course, the masterpiece, Chris Adonis, is a big part of that show. The national title being represented on NWA USA, big time, and it'll be a lot of fun. And of course, as Logan points out here, Tim Storm is running things. Who doesn't love that? And already, right off the bat there, because of the attack on George South, well, I guess we should point out George South was there, which was awesome. Then the Fixers came out and tried to fix George South, and Tim Storm had to suspend the Fixers. So pretty interesting.
He's not playing around.
No. He immediately
managing director, right? Managing director, is that what the position's called?
Yeah,
I believe that's correct. Yeah. So then Bobby mentioning here enjoyed watching the match between C.W. Anderson and Colby Carino. That was a great match.
Bruh, what a match, man. Yeah. First of all, let me say this. C.W. Anderson, this guy right here is overlooked. He was fantastic in this match. And then Colby Carino, you just saw just there in about 10 minutes or so why the three of us are so high on the future and prospects of Colby Carino. This guy got superstar written all over him. I don't know. He's launching right now. I don't know where he's going to land, but I'm telling you, I told you last week, I like Homicide in that fatal 4-way final, but I like Colby Carino to walk away with the gold.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, we talked about that a little last week, but man, I mean, what a way to premiere a brand new show. I mean, those of you who are in the chat that watched it, you know exactly what we're talking about. I mean, a nice, compact wrestling show on a Saturday morning. It really doesn't get much better than that. It made me feel like, I don't know about you guys, I felt like I was a kid again. I mean, I was a kid waking up and, you know, watching wrestling on Saturday mornings. It was super cool, and it was cool to everyone that was in the chat and hang out and have a little chat on Saturday morning. But man, that match was off the charts. What a better way to kick off a brand new show than C.W. Anderson versus Colby Carino. These are two guys that I'm hoping to see a whole heck of a lot more on Saturday mornings from both of these guys.
Now, Damian in the chat is pointing out that he doesn't think Colby could beat Luke Hawx, which might be a possibility that has to happen because, as you saw in the main event of NWA USA, the Hawks boys, Luke Hawx and his son PJ Hawx, had to go against each other in the very first round there. And Luke coming out on top in that one in a closely contested battle, but Luke just able to outsmart PJ in the I'd say as far as the grappling goes, and got the best of him this time. Don't know that would always be the case, but at least this time around, Luke with the experience came out on top. But that was an awesome match too, guys.
Yeah, a lot of feels in that match. I mean, you could feel it from the time that they embraced each other before the match in the middle of the ring, and you know, obviously there's a lot of mutual respect there, a father and a son, and a teacher and a student and mentor, and So I mean, it just had a big match feel. I mean, it's something that, you know, we've been watching Hawks Airy, you know, compete in tag team matches, and we've seen Luke and PJ compete in singles matches against other people. But you know, I just never thought that we would see that match, especially to kick off this junior heavyweight tournament on NWA USA. So great main event. If you haven't watched it, definitely go back and watch this match. I mean, you're right, Gary. It could have gone either way. I mean, these guys it's like they have one mind, which is what makes them such a great tag team. But you put them in the ring across from each other, and you know, you're going to get a hell of a match every time.
Man, it's like not only father and son, but also blood, family. You know what I'm saying? And it was like great match, great drama. Man, I'm gonna tell you, here's my fear. My fear is that NWA USA is gonna mess around and outperform Powerrr, which is a first world problem.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's an interesting concept. I mean, the biggest complaint I saw about NWA USA was that people wanted more. It was only a half hour, and so NWA USA is a shorter show. And yeah, like you said, first world problems. That's
use the baby bird thing. They want more. Tell them the baby bird thing. You say.
Well, we're not though. Usually, I would say, "Don't worry, baby birds. I'm gonna feed you."
But we're going to give them more, right? We got more. We got more Powerrr coming. I mean, more USA coming, right?
There is more NWA USA coming. So there you go. There you go.
Cheap.
Free.
Sure.
We go feed those hogs, right? You see what I did
whoever
there?
paid $9.99 for this, boy, they got ripped off. I said or best offer. Or free.
Oh man. All right. Well, so that brings up an interesting topic. We can bring up this. We only have the oldest version of this bracket up here right this second. We haven't got the newer one, but as you can see there, Austin Aries is already in the next round. Now we know he's going to be going up against Luke Hawks.
What? Pop said a weedle cut a weasel said pop.
That's going to be a good one, guys. I mean, I don't know what Doc's doing, but I know that the Austin Aries versus Luke Hawks is going to be awesome. And now we know Colby Carino has advanced, and he'll be going up against the winner of Kerry Morton and Jamie Stanley. That dude versus the son of the legendary member of the Rock and Roll Express. That's going to be man. That's going to be a lot of fun. You also got Arya Daivari and Jay Spade coming up, and a lot of not an underdog, a lot of people's favorite, the one we haven't seen anything out of really in ring yet, Darius Lockhart taking on Sal Renaro, who is not to be underestimated because he's a crazy person. And
he drank blood. So
he did drink blood. Yeah. So very interesting. So we're curious. Yeah, in the chat, let us know, who do you predict? I saw a lot of calls for Luke Hawks. I saw Homicide. I've seen Colby Carino being the obvious choice. So it's going to be interesting to see what people think on as far as the junior heavyweight championship goes. And that also brings up another point that somebody mentioned. They wanted to see who the next challenger for Chris Adonis was going to be. I have a feeling we're going to find that out. He's going to have to defend that national title at some point, and it'll be interesting.
Man, can we spoil something here?
Hang on. At the risk of sending Doc on a conspiracy Corgan rant or rampage, I think you're right, Gary. I think he is going to have to defend that title here soon enough, because we've seen a lot of it in the NWA lately. We saw Kamille wrestling in a tag team match last week because President Corgan insisted that she wrestle. We saw, Mike Knox and Matt Cardona in a match tonight, because if they're going to be there, they got to wrestle. And so, this is something that we've seen a lot of, and I think that's going to extend to Chris Adonis at some point. And he's going to be forced to be a fighting champion. He hasn't been as of late, and there's nobody directly on the horizon, but yeah, I think we're gonna find out very soon.
Polka Dot Pam asking you to spoil something, Doc. You'll deal with the office.
Well, hold on,
whatever this is.
Go back. Rewind this. Rewind. Will real quick. You said he's not been a fighting champion. Go back to the part where you said he's not been a fighting champion.
I didn't say he's
Defend
not been
that.
a fighting champion.
That what rewind? Put rewind. Hit rewind, Gary.
We don't have a rewind, Doc. Just can we?
We don't have.
I've
that
got
kind
a
of
tape
technology.
deck over here. You always hit me on technology. I got a tape.
You got one of
deck
those
that's
little
got a rewind
micro
button.
cassette
Yeah.
recorders.
I thought you just
You're not-
said he's not been a fighting champion up to this point.
No, I just said that
Okay.
the NWA has a very short fuse these days when it comes to people just hanging out in the locker room and not defending titles and not fighting. So I think we're going to see either some contenders being picked out of the mix, or we're going to see him being forced to defend that title at some point.
Hey, I apologize. I misinterpreted you, misunderstood you. So you said, come here, Mike. You said that she Polka Dot Pan wants me to spoil something.
You were talking about spoiling something.
I want to spoil something about Chris Adonis and the upcoming challenger, and where that's. But if you don't want me to, I can wait till Monday.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, the Erics have are in here defending Chris Adonis left and right, saying
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean they're.
Thank you.
There's there's two Erics, and they both had a
Hey, certified wrestler come out of retirement.
He's
there
back.
he is. He's
back,
back.
my man. Don't you retire, boy. I think that what you're going to find out. Hold on. I think what you're going to find is that as things play out. Sorry, I've got a 3-year-old running around in here.
Is it yours?
Yep, it could be. Allegedly. I think that what you're going to find is that Cyon has got his eyes fixed right now on Chris Adonis.
Well, that certainly is something we found out on Power tonight, and I don't think that's too big of a spoiler. He definitely is. Cyon's been saying he's going after any title. He failed at his initial attempt at the TV title, so you'll find out tonight on Power. He is definitely interested in that national title, but according to James Lawrence, referee James Lawrence, Adonis isn't letting go of that belt anytime soon, and certified was Jeremiah Plunkett, who unfortunately already missed his opportunity, but I'm sure he'll get another one down the road. Noah wants Cyon unmasked. Maybe he's better with the mask on. You don't know. Be careful what you ask for.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if Midnight Rider can't get away with a mask, Cyon shouldn't get away with a mask and claim the title. That's all I'm saying.
Caps think Cyon versus Adonis is money, though. By the way, Eric thinks the 3-year-old was sent by Conspiracy Corgan to throw Doc off this game. That's an interesting idea.
He said, "What now? Put it back up. Put it back up."
There you go.
Oh, Petra, look. Conspiracy.
She admits it.
Wow.
There you go. Out of the mouth of babes.
I have a feeling because she's your child, she already knew that word and she says it frequently.
She's over here like presuppositional preconditions of intelligibility, Dad.
You're like, Petra, you have to eat your broccoli. This is a conspiracy, Dad.
She's like, Dad, can we read more Cornelius Van Til before bedtime?
Love Dr. Red Tyler. Don't trust that guy, by the way, but he is giving some love to Jared Fritz, so we'll support it this time because we do also love our referee Jared Fritz. He's a great guy. And Noah has your back here too, Doc. He's saying that Cyon should have been suspended for what he did to you. But
you'll notice that I'm not wearing my sunglasses tonight. I can find them just now because this is how I make my money. I need this. And when my face was horribly disfigured, got scars here. I still got scrapes and abrasions. You can see this right here. Gary, of course, was nowhere to be found. He even nowhere to be found. But
that's why my face is just as pretty as it's always been.
Yeah.
See, we're trying to we're keeping the moneymakers intact. You were just a little too reckless.
This is what keeps the viewers, the listeners, the
listeners.
I'll give you this.
Our faces keep the listeners.
I'll give you this.
They can hear how pretty I am.
Yes, I'll give you this. Gary, I'm not going. Gary, you do have a lovely radio voice. You have and
Thank
Will,
you.
yours isn't so shabby either.
Thanks.
Mine's not so much.
Fee from Scotland said she listens to us right before she falls asleep at night. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I can't.
Well, my wife does the same thing, but I'm talking to her, and then she falls asleep like mid sentence. I'm talking. I'm like, look, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. I've got this idea, and you got to go back. You got to go back to the presuppositionalist. She's gone.
Yeah, I can see how that might happen. Logan thinks that Nick Aldis deserves a shot at the national heavyweight title. You think that would happen? You think Nick Aldis would go for the national title now, just to get his way back in, or is he automatically still in that world title picture? I wonder.
Historically now, I don't know. We have to go look at what the board of directors are doing and all that. But traditionally, you get an entitled rematch. Most every championship match has a rematch clause in it, which he may exercise at some point in the future. But I will tell you this right now: I've not been, Nick Aldis. I love Nick Aldis. I think Nick Aldis is the greatest world champion of the modern era. I don't like the direction his career's taken. I think he's kind of lost sight, but I know that Nick Aldis respects the National Wrestling Alliance, and he has respect for every championship that this promotion offers. And if he were, fortunate enough to hold that championship, the national championship, he would hold it with pride, and he would defend it with pride, just like he did the World's Heavyweight Championship.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about this stuff in just a minute. Of course, we want to hang out with you guys, but let me show you another thing coming up for the National Wrestling Alliance that you may not be aware of. And if you're not, well, you're about to be informed, and we'll actually spoil something. We'll break something here on the post show tonight, right after these words from, I don't know. I don't remember who does this one. Is it
Kyle Davis?
Is it Kyle again? Yeah, it's always
Probably.
Kyle.
Wrestling fans, join us Saturday, February 12th, as the National Wrestling Alliance returns to Oak Grove, Kentucky for a special edition taping of NWA Powerrr that we're calling NWA Powerrr Trip. Scheduled to appear are NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Trevor Murdoch, NWA World's Women's Champion Kamille, the National Treasure Nick Aldis, Thom Latimer, Smiley Kylie Ray, and many more. For tickets, visit NWATix.com. That's NWATIX.com.
And that's nice. Like, you could see that there. Power Trip's coming up February the 12th, Oak Grove, Kentucky. If you were at By Any Means Necessary, you know that is a card you don't want to miss. That is a big deal. Those shows are fun. And Valor Hall is an excellent venue for professional wrestling.
Great venue. Great venue. Security's poor, but great venue.
Still in that Mike Knox thing. But
I mean, it's not like that's a small little. It's not like that's an obscure thing that happened. It dominated the entire Hard Times 2 pay-per-view.
I'll give them that the event was basically over. They were just doing photos, so maybe they just assumed I know you shouldn't, but anyway, let's get to the point here. The point is that NWA Powerrr Trip, Oak Grove, Kentucky, Saturday, February 12th. Tickets are on sale now at NWATix.com. You just saw that commercial, and you got a vague look there. Trevor Murdoch's going to be there, world champion. That's awesome. That sells the tickets right there. But also the women's champion Kamille is there. Thom Latimer, the national treasure Nick Aldis, and of course Smiley Kylie Ray. We can do better than that, because we also know one of the matches at NWA Powerrr Trip is going to be Kylie Ray taking on Chelsea Green. Now, if that is not enough to get you in the door, I don't know what would do it, because these are two of the best in the business right now. Chelsea Green and Smiley Kylie Ray. But if you need a little more incentive, let's do this. How about this? There's an 8-man tag match. Cyon may be on that mission for the national title, but he's also still got his grudge going against Tyrus and Austin Idol. And that will continue in Oak Grove, Kentucky, whether or not they wrap it up before then. They're still going one more time there, as Cyon's put together a team of big, strong Mims, his rival from the last time they were in Oak Grove, Kentucky, and Alex Taylor and Rush Freeman, I believe we've seen hanging around in the back, some of those ill-begotten guys. So that's kind of interesting. Cyon's put them together, and they're going to be taking on, I'm going to get this right this time, it is Idol Mania Sports Management in association with Church's Money Enterprises. right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it's all over Rolling Stone magazine, Vogue, PW.
Vogue.
Yeah, of course.
I don't read magazines.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you did, you'd know.
But they've got good pictures too. They got good pictures in there, Will.
Okay.
Color pictures.
So Austin Idol's bringing in his team, essentially. Church's Money, Black G's is going to be there. Marche Rocket, the newest addition to their crew. And, of course, the Golden Boy, Jordan Clearwater. And it would not be a complete set or a gang or a faction or whatever you want to call it if the ultimate manster, the towering titan of terror, Tyrus, wasn't there leading the pack. So that is already going to tear down the house. So those are two of the matches that have previously been announced. I promised we'd spoil something, so I'll spoil something right now. Let me go ahead and tell you another match that's going to happen. I can confirm. I received word right before we went on the air. Now, if you watch Powerrr, and I know we're not like trying to get too spoilerly in Powerrr, you know that the women's champion Kamille has challenger in Keira Hogan. Now, I'm not sure when that match is actually going to happen, but if it happens before this could change. But presumably right now, Kamille is the women's world champion, and she will be defending that title at Powerrr Trip in Oak Grove, Kentucky on February 12th against Taryn Terrell.
Oh,
Taryn Terrell stepping back in the ring and has been granted a NWA World Women's Championship match. We can confirm that here. So Taryn and Kamille. Now, I don't know about Jennacide and Pella Mayfield, if they're, or Paola Blaze, whatever they're calling her these days, if they're going to be there with Taryn, but Taryn is getting a women's title shot. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm curious about you guys' thoughts. What do you think? Taryn and Kamille.
That's big news, man. Taryn getting back in the ring. I mean, we've seen her, I want to say the last time we saw her in a match, she was supposed to go against Lady Frost a year or so ago, and the match didn't even really happen. So it's been a while since we've seen her, and I mean, this is a big opportunity for her. I mean, she's already a legend, but for her to get a shot at the Burke against Kamille, that's a big deal. So
yeah, we enjoy Taryn Terrell. I think we know that she's probably the master of the socially distanced match, which is one of the most brutal scenarios you can find yourself in. But this is going to be fantastic. We all love to watch Taryn Terrell watch. It's been a long time. Gary, you did say that presumably Kamille was going to be the holder of the Burke. There ain't no presuming. She's unbeatable. Yeah, you muted. You muted.
Yeah, I was covering my bases there. I didn't want to step in anything, but no. I'm just being factually accurate that she is the current champion, but she may have a title match before that. We know from Powerrr that she has the algorithm.
I ran the algorithm on all potential scenarios, and it's a mathematical certainty. She will be the holder of the Burke. She will be the holder of the Burke at Powerrr Trip. Hold on, man. And she will be the holder of the Burke after Powerrr Trip. Then I ran the numbers.
All right. Well, there it is. Science. So anyway, thanks for being here with us, because you got that special news. Kamille, according to the algorithm, will be defending the women's championship against Taryn Terrell. And so that's going to be a lot of fun to watch that one. I'm curious to see how Taryn approaches this one. She's had some interesting strategy here lately. Some folks are mentioning that the chat, Docky, I think you kind of read it by us just a second ago, but yes, people asking about the no contact. James Lawrence, I think he said it was his favorite match of 2021. And
I figured we were going to trigger him with that one.
Yeah. But Logan pointing out, no one is undefeated forever, Doc.
No, you're right. That reminds me, I like that comment, Logan, because it reminds me of the line in the movie Creed where Adonis Creed is like, what do you think about my dad? And Rocky's like, oh, Apollo is the greatest of all time. He's like, well, you beat him. And Rocky's like, no, I didn't beat him. Time beat him.
There it is. Well, you know who hasn't been beat recently also is since NWA 73 is Trevor Murdoch had a successful defense against Gangrel this past weekend. He is the world's heavyweight champion. Gangrel thought he was tough enough, but guess what, Doc? Everybody's a tough guy until they meet one. And you can pick up that t-shirt from the champ over at Collar and Elbow. So check them out. And also, by the way, and you can get, I believe, 10% off over at Collar and Elbow if you use the code GRAVY. Just throwing that in there. That's ours.
I like that.
Gravy. So
I can't believe this is the first time you've said that.
When I say gravy, you say cake. Gravy,
cake.
gravy.
Cake. She loved it. Maybe the men's champ's not your thing. Maybe you want to go to the women's champ. Well, there is a Burke shirt there. You can get that over at our Pro Wrestling Tees store. ProWrestlingTees.com/NWA gets you all the coolest shirts all the cool kids are wearing. That's where you want to go. You get that other Trevor Murdoch shirt there, that awesome retro National Wrestling Alliance shirt, La Rebellion, if you want to descend into Lucha Babylon, which I know you do.
I did.
That's where you go. You get those shirts. You got to do it. Caps is with you on the cake.
Speaking of La Rebellion, and we can tease some of this stuff for people that haven't seen Power, but there was a pretty very tense backstage moment between La Rebellion and the OGK. That is a must-see moment because
they said things that shouldn't be said. They said you said things in that interview that can be taken back.
Yeah. So, and now it has aired, at least on Fight TV. It'll air Friday here on YouTube. So don't miss that moment for sure.
Connecting people through wrestling, bringing up a cool point. Yeah, Trevor is in New York this weekend. Tag team match. He's going to be teaming up with Homicide, taking on the team of Colby Carino and Wrecking Ball Legursky. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
New York, city of brotherly love, baby.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do, or something. I forget how the song goes. New York. Thought everybody
that make you that will inspire you.
There it is.
Got it.
New York.
Rob, this is what I know about Rob. Rob knows the last two words of every line of every song. He doesn't know any of the rest of the lines, but he just knows the last two syllables.
Even care.
All right, we've lost like half the viewers. The viewers are now gone.
Oh no, we're down to 4.
So I started that. That's my own fault. Logan saying he does love gravy and cake. Haven't had them together though. I'm fat enough to try it once.
You're missing out.
You are missing out. Is there a number one contender for the 10 pounds of gold? Well, yes, Raymond Smith. There is actually. Technically, it would be Chris Adonis.
Hashtag strictly business.
That makes me cry too.
Yeah, it's disappointing for a lot of people, but Chris Adonis is, as the national champion, the default number one contender for the world's heavyweight championship. That's what that belt gets you. And let's see here. What else is going on in the chat? Eric was worried about May during that interaction between
I know. I was too, man. I got to say this. Look, we've got Christie Jaynes, who's out there saying she's the first Brazilian in the NWA. That's not actually true. She might be the first in-ring competitor, but May Valentine is the first Brazilian in the NWA.
Oh,
that's a good point.
Yep.
May Valentine, Brazilian. She's gonna watch that. She's gonna get in trouble. I bet she got a DM when that showed up on social media today. Christie Jaynes. Talk about that first.
I'm sure she did. Yeah. But hey, much love to Brazil.
Yep. We love some Brazil. Brazil nuts. Brazilian waxes.
Brazil what?
Nuts. You never had Brazil nuts?
Just let him.
Right?
I feel like that's a trick question.
What? I'm not making that up.
You go. All right.
Google it. Google it. Share your screen.
I will. Hold on. No, wait. We're gonna clear this up right now.
I bet we are.
Let's see. Right here. Share that.
Oh,
Brazil nut.
oh, that's what I was thinking.
Where's macadamia at? Like, what
right next
continent
to
is that
Brazil.
in?
It's right next to Brazil.
I'm not searching
Like,
for
where
any more
the, where
nuts
the
on
heck
my
is
computer.
macadamia?
And why don't we have any macadamian wrestlers in the NWA?
Who's going to be the first?
The first macadamian in an NWA ring.
And you think about like the great history of the NWA, the territories, all the regional championships. Who was the first macadamian heavyweight champion of the world?
This is why
anyway.
this is why we need shows to talk about.
We do. Guys, the real show starts back on Monday. This is just us. Raymel asking, doesn't Jack State of the Pope have a chance at the 10 pounds of gold? Yes. Yes is the
They
answer.
actually
to
have
that
a
question.
chance at any championship they want. So it could be TV title, could be the national title.
Yep.
Cyon cashed in his chance at the TV title. So could be tag team. I guess technically, right? Tag team.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jackson Pope could team up right now and go for the tag titles. One of them could just go for the tag titles. I mean, that wouldn't be very old school style and the original Dizzy D. You got that right. Hashtag NWA Wrestling, old school style. Connecting people through wrestling, pointing out, Father. Yeah, we talked about the Hawks match earlier, and you make it sound more nefarious than it really
Like
was.
a crime.
Like a crime. But, father beats son in the Hawks qualified match. Who can Dr. Red manage? That's what he wants to know.
You can manage Doc. Somebody needs to manage him.
Doc
That
needs a
would be-
manager.
I feel like that would be fitting.
Man, I'm over here trying to plug this doggone headphone in so she can listen to Blippy while we're doing this.
Jedi wants British Invasion as the tag team champions. I don't blame you. That'd be an awesome match. I think the OGK is up there. British Invasion, the tag team division. I mean, Kratos and Aaron Stevens are still out there. They just had a big win the other day, and you just saw tonight. If you watch NWA Powerrr, you get the Dirty Sexy Boys versus the Rude Dudes, and so the tag team division in the NWA is on fire and right on time. Considering in March, sounds like we're looking at the Crockett Cup, so could be the perfect time for all these teams to come together. And who knows how that's going to play out? What does La Rebellion do? Do they? I mean, because they'll have obviously to defend their titles, you would think, but a team like them, they're going to want to enter the Crockett Cup as well.
You think like when you look at like the accolades of like, say, for instance, the Road Warriors, arguably the greatest tag team of all time, the only tag team to hold the NWA, WWF, and AWA titles, but they were also the first Crockett Cup champions, and they treasured that. I remember getting to see Road Warrior Animal just a couple of years before his passing, and he talked about that being a true highlight of his career. So, of course, La Rebellion holding the Crockett Cup, they consider themselves the best tag team in history. Well, if you're going to do that, if you're going to name that tune, then you better bring it, and you got to add that to your resume.
Trenda, a big fan of the Dirty Sexy Boys. Yeah, you and Velvet Sky, apparently. Like, good Lord. She gets turned about the Dirty Sexy Boys every time they're out there.
I mean, is what it is.
Yeah. Eric pointing out the NWA overall talent level is rich. There will be lots to talk about in the next weeks and months ahead. Yeah, and I think everybody watching this show right now that's not in the chat room are hoping that we have something else to talk about besides Brazil nuts and macadamia champions. So,
Macadamia national champion.
Logan wants the Rock and Roll Express back for the Crockett Cup. Could happen.
Hey. Yep.
I mean, or what if Ricky Morton teams with Kerry Morton? That could be interesting.
Rob.
Calm
down.
Hey, Kerry Morton, man. He did such a good job in that gauntlet. I see a lot of love for the Briscoes. Both of the Briscoe brothers, by the way, Mark and Jay, both have birthdays coming up in the month of January, and they are Crockett Cup alumnus. I think they were the team that put the Rock and Roll Express out in the first Crockett Cup.
That is correct. Actually, I do remember that. And you would think a team like that would also, you want to talk about a team who's competitive as all get out there. They would definitely be interested in coming back, I'm sure, just because they felt like they were kind of screwed over in the last Crockett Cup. I remember the end of their match involving spitting in the ring and throwing things and being very, very angry.
Well, that could be any Briscoes match, but yeah, that's correct.
Oh, so what's this? What are you guys' predictions for NWA Wrestler of the Year, male and female? That's fun.
Hey,
all right, Chad.
I like
Let's
that.
close out on this one. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's get your thoughts in the chat.
The ODD, the original Dizzy D. I like that.
There's a lot of imposters out there, but that's original.
True.
I've seen a bunch of Dizzy Ds, but this one in our chat is the original Dizzy D.
Yeah, don't go to don't be going to other YouTube videos. But yeah, because we got the OG Dizzy D.
The ODD.
You know me.
I'm down with ODD.
Yeah, there was no way that joke wasn't happening, so we had to.
Yeah.
We should have stopped the joke a long time ago and moved on.
Yeah, that's what all the kids are saying these days. That just came out. Bet. Also,
it just came out.
Yeah. Psych. That came out too.
Psych.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right. Well, chat.
Good
we
question.
Want to know
Good question.
Who 2021? Who would have been your NWA Wrestler of the Year, male and female? I gotta say, I'll just start. Female is Kamille. No questions asked. She won the women's title. She's faced some of the toughest competition. I would say, bar none, she's at the top of the list as far as women's wrestlers right now. She won that title from Serena Deeb, for crying out loud. She took on Thunder Rosa. She took on Layla Hirsch and Empower. She there's been nobody that Chelsea Green at 73. Like Kamille has been on fire. She has been constantly traveling around and taking on all challengers, and nobody seems to have her number. And so I got to go 2021 Female Wrestler of the Year, Kamille.
Go ahead.
No, I agree with that, but I would even, just as Roy Cap says here in the chat, I would call her just the NWA Wrestler of the Year. Not even, quantifying that as women's wrestler. I mean, she, in the whole landscape of the NWA in 2021, I mean, nobody was as dominant or as active as Kamille was. And so obviously, if we're separating male and female, she would be hands down the top female of the year.
When I think of like inspirational wrestler of the year, this is a female. I think of like 2D Lynn, coming from, the independent local scene there in St. Louis and really working her way into our hearts. But obviously for female wrestler of the year, maybe wrestler of the year, you can't argue with Kamille. There's just I don't see the argument. Let's go with male wrestler of the year.
I see a lot of choices of Nick Aldis in the chat. I've seen Trevor Murdoch pop up in there. Most improved, somebody mentioned Mims. But yeah, I'm curious.
I'll say this, and this isn't by any means a controversial take, but I'll explain it. I'll explain my reasoning to you. But I would say Trevor Murdoch. I know it really comes down to Trevor Murdoch or Nick Aldis, and I know that ultimately Nick Aldis was world champ for most of the year in 2021. But when you look at the landscape of the NWA and big moments and big rivalries and big matches, it doesn't get any bigger than the main event of NWA 73. And, the reason why I would pick Trevor over Nick for Wrestler of the Year is just because, honestly, I would say Nick was the male Wrestler of the Year for the 3 years before this. But Trevor came in 2021, and this became the year that he not only achieved his dream, but he reignited a lot of people's passion for, not just the NWA, but wrestling in general. And, it was a big year for the NWA. And as the year came to a close, Trevor was the one holding the 10 pounds of gold. And so it's hard for me to say that, Trevor Murdoch wouldn't be the male wrestler of the year.
Yeah, there's a lot of merit to what you're saying. Obviously, I think Nick Aldis, not only the greatest world champion of the modern era, maybe one of the greats of all time, maybe the greatest of all time. I think about, as a person who loves history, and I look and think about guys like Luthez, and even going back further to guys like Frank Gotch and William Flagg and some of the legends. Would those guys be able to hold a candle to the kind of athlete who's as big, as physically and genetically prepared, and as technically sound as Nick Aldis? And I just don't see anybody really comparing to him throughout history, really. But if we're going to talk about wrestler of the year, it's not what you did through the year, it's how you finished. And, it's like you may have this great season in Alabama Crimson Tide, nothing but respect for them. They may have won the SEC championship, but at the end of the day, the Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship, and that's the one you want. And so when the sun set on the year 2021, the man holding the most prestigious trophy in the history of the world was Trevor Murdoch. And so I would have to say Trevor Murdoch would be the wrestler of the year.
Man, I think I have to lean Trevor too, just for that fact. If you put it in those terms, like you just mentioned, Logan even pointing out Flair's endorsement there at the NWA 73, the win at 73 for the world title. That's how you want to finish the year. It was a big year for Trevor Murdoch. I'd even say that you can even put his main eventing pay-per-views right up there with Nick Aldis. As a matter of fact, if two guys were ever carrying the NWA on their shoulders, I mean, Trevor and Nick were traveling around like battling each other, but I think that's why that respect level was as high as it was for Nick Aldis, because he saw Trevor being the workhorse like him, that he would want to put, that he trusted the NWA in his hands. I will give a shout out that Eric Dale mentioned Chris Adonis, also two-time national champion in 2021, now has his own show. He's held on to that belt too. So there is Chris Adonis.
Won it twice and never lost it.
Yeah, that's fair. And so anyway, yeah, predictions for 2022. I'm going to go ahead and throw mine out real quick. I'm saying female, Kylie Rae; male, Thom Latimer.
Good pick. Good pick.
Oh man, yeah, that's a tough one. Man, I would agree with you on Kylie Rae, but I want to be different. Man, there's just so much opportunity there. I mean, I look at Jennacide. I just feel like the clock on Jennacide not being top tier, the top of the mountain in the NWA is running low. I mean, she has been so dominant. We saw her in a match tonight. Won't spoil it, but it was just a reminder to me of how, if anybody, when we talk about Kamille being unbeatable, if there's anybody in the entire NWA that I would put money on to have a chance, it would be Jennacide. So I could see 2022 being the year of Jennacide. Wow, that's a terrible sentence to say. Yeah, and then for male, I mean,
I'm jealous of that, by the way. I should have said Jennacide too. I love Kylie.
Can't all be as smart as me.
I get first world problems, right?
But I think for the males, I'm with you. I lean towards Thom. I just think that 2021 was not necessarily his year, and leading up to 2022, but I feel like it hasn't deterred him at all, and I think we've seen that in the last couple of times that we've heard from him. And I think again, just like with Jennacide, I think the clock is ticking, and Thom not being a guy that is on the top of everyone's list is, time is short on that. So I would say I would agree with you on Thom, and then I'd say Jennacide.
Broke the chains that bound him. He's free. He's running his own show now. He feels like he's got a new Papa's got a brand new bag.
I like that, man. Those are all credible suggestions. Man, I love Jennacide. I think that Jennacide will be a wrestler of the year. I think she's going to hold the Burke. I just think that Kamille is too good right now. I just think she's unbeatable. So I got Kamille owning 2022. And I'm going to tell you what, that hunger is going to come back. That taste for running the show, for being the top dog is going to come back real soon. 2022 is going to be the year of Nick Aldis.
See some love for Colby in the chat. Cyon getting a lot of love in the chat. And Doc is gone.
You made Doc leave.
Who said Cyon and Doc bailed?
That's all we had to do.
Yeah. If I'd have known that, we'd say his name earlier.
Hey, welcome to the show, Cyon.
Anyway, so this is interesting. Rainbow pointing out, I like the NWA because they know about wrestling fundamentals, building character and charisma. Yeah, I mean, that's we're all fans of the National Wrestling Alliance here. That's what this whole show's about. So I love these predictions. Yeah, just interesting to see. I saw Kenzie Paige's name in there as well. I don't want to skip her. People, Logan expecting her to break out in a big way in 2022. This is going to be interesting. We'll come back to this, and whoever wins.
It's such a rich conversation because there's all the names that we mentioned, which I think are, they feel obvious. Nobody that we've mentioned in this conversation has been shocking, but in the same regard, I wouldn't be shocked if it was Colby Carino's year or Cyon or, it's the roster is so deep right now and there's so many people capable of really just having a breakout year and doing whatever they want in the world of wrestling. So
what you're talking about, sorry to cut you off. I was going to say, Ramo pointing out, earlier, Jack Stane has a title shot. Pope has the title shot.
At any time, Jack Stane could credibly be the world's champion. Pope could be the world's champion. Tim Storm could be the world's champion.
Colby Carino has one of those shots too. Don't forget. So Colby Carino, Judais has one of those shots. Whatever she feels like cashed in. Those are all people that have it.
Man, I love questions like that, and I hate them because there's so many people that I'm just so big on right now. Like Jennacide is probably my apps. I love Jennacide like Will loves cake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love but then again, I just cannot argue with the science, with the metrics, with Kamille of how devastating she is. She's making believers of everybody in the world. But man, there's so many potential people that can break out this year. And then you throw in a Kenzie Paige, you throw in a Keira Hogan, you throw in a Kylie Ray. At any point, any of those could do it all. Chelsea Green.
Yeah, Bobby throwing in Chelsea.
Chelsea Green, of course.
Certified with the Russian crush. Natalia Markova.
Hey, Das Vidania.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is how this conversation could have gone. You could have put all the wrestlers' names in a hat and picked one out, and that could have been your pick, and I would have been like, okay, yeah, I see that. So there's just really
that's what the National Wrestling Alliance is all about, man. Everybody's there for a reason. Everybody here.
And it's the land of opportunity, as Nick Aldis reminded us on Saturday morning.
Yeah. So do we want to see the Crockett Cup for a women's tag team division? That'd be a blast.
Yeah. That's
look at the Hex. You think the Hex right now ain't petitioning William Patrick Corgan to get into the regular Crockett Cup? Then you crazy. I guarantee you Marty Mellish.
They want the Briscoes like a mug, boy. They're like, we can take down Mark and Jay. We can take them down.
The Hex ain't afraid of nobody. The Hex are waiting. They're like, go ahead and throw us in there. We'll do it. But yeah, and Logan, of course,
he's a saint. Logan, you are a genius.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you guys, everybody who hung out with us here tonight. This was a laid back show. We didn't even really recap Power, but remember, we're going to be back on Monday, 6:05 Eastern, to hang out with you guys one more time. We'll talk about this week's Power, this week's NWA USA. We'll preview the next week's Power. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have a blast, and we'll continue this conversation. Maybe come back with some more thoughts on who you think 2022 belongs to as far as talent on the National Wrestling Alliance. We appreciate every single one of you and appreciate you watching the National Wrestling Alliance. Make sure to tell everybody that doesn't know already, NWA Powerrr is back on YouTube. USA is here. It's on YouTube. Everybody has free access to watch the NWA. You want to see this thing grow? That's how you do it. It takes all of you spreading the word. Get that word out there. Tell everybody your favorite wrestling.
Print flyers, man. Print flyers, bro.
There you go. That's what you got to do. Get it out there, man.
Post
that
it,
helps
or
this
post
thing
on
grow.
social media.
And go AOL. American Online.
Listen,
do they
go
this
chat room to chat room and tell them.
It's a grassroots project.
Tell them Doc sent you. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. You see our names there. Feel free to hit us up on social media. Also at TIPW Show. That's our regular shows. Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And make sure you're following and interacting with the National Wrestling Alliance social media as well.
That would be La Rebellion, Dizzy D. No doubt about it.
Dizzy D talking about tag teams. But yeah, we'll do it next show. Monday, 6:05. Join us then.
Special Martin Luther King Jr. Day episode of this
nice.
The NWA Weekly. This Monday, January the 17th.
I got to make us some new videos. I just made these.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Let's see if we can get Will on it and get him making more videos and keep this show interesting and exciting for everybody. Until then, though, you guys, you all enjoy your gravy.